And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, a real estate and finance expert, and goes to bat for you every day as your consumer advocate. Your host, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media, the fake news out there, helping you win in any marketplace. And Consumer Quarterback Show here, helping you win. Over 80 show partners now, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, self-defense experts. So many ways that we can help you win. And we're going to educate, entertain, enlighten. But most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Now, pull out your smartphone, save our Consumer Advocate Hotline number in your phone at 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
670-7372.
Baby, don't forget my number.
ConsumerQB.com. That's our website, blog site, a plethora of information available for you on our website, ConsumerQB.com. And we want to help you win no matter what you're facing out there. We don't care if you're climbing that corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to give you that helicopter view of the market, help you avoid a lot of the commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our communities. And we've got a great opportunity for you as well. Attention business owners, managers out there looking to grow your business. We've got a free event coming up on the 25th. Save the date. Thursday, May 25th, 3 to 5:30 at the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach, our official hotel partner. We've got an event coming up Thursday, May 25th, 3 to 5:30. It's a digital marketing and business growth seminar. You got to check this out. We're going to be giving you some great content. We're going to have a business coach there as well, talking about ways that you can grow your business, organize your business, grow your sales, and win online. And then at 5:30, we're going to have some fun. We're going to take it to the rooftop and have a rooftop happy hour at the top of the Hotel Zamora, which, by the way, voted top 3 rooftops in the eastern seaboard of the United States is the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's our hotel partner here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. So let's go around the horn now, make our introductions. William Crowley, the credit magician, back in the house. Welcome in, William.
I'm back, baby. I'm back. We're going to be talking about being proactive and letting consumers know the advantages that are at their hands. And we're not telling people not to pay their bills, but we're also telling you that there is a way out, legal way out, using the consumer laws. I'm back, baby.
He's back. He's back in the house. And also back in the house, Joe Harrison, Harrison Martial Arts. He's a tactical combative instructor and owner of Harrison Martial Arts in Clearwater. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me again, man. It's great to be here. I love being on the show. I love giving out the content to the general population so we can help educate them more and get them more well informed about all kinds of things, including, self-defense in the profession that I'm in as well.
That's right. Now more than ever, it's relevant. Self-defense is relevant. The concealed permit carries, all these things we've talked about on the show.
I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things on that. I'm glad you said that. A lot of different myths, misunderstandings, and misperceptions on that. So it's really good to be here.
Love it. Love it.
Excellent.
Awesome. Also in studio, Kathy Finnegan, coach and owner of Accountable Actions. Welcome in.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to sharing my experience, strength, and hope with how to live a positive life. 7 tips on how to live a positive lifestyle.
I like that. We're all about positivity here on the Quarterback Show, and today we're going to lead off with a little personal development. We got Peyton Manning helping us with that Audible. Got the Omaha Audible there. But what you want to look at is your main influences. What are the influences in your life? What are the 3 main influences? Because bottom line, where you are today, your success, your achievement, lack thereof, whatever it might be, it's product of you. You're 100% responsible. You've got behaviors that are going to develop habits, and habits are thousands of times more powerful than sheer will alone. That's why you see those New Year resolutions coming out every December, January there, and then what happens is the will runs out. The will and the will's there, but the habits don't develop. And you look at stories. So what you want to look at is, number 1, what's the input? What are the major inputs you're putting into your brain? A lot of times I'm listening to Audible audio books when I'm in the gym or I'm working out or doing laundry, whatever it might be. I'm filling my mind with great ideas, great content, and there's some amazing people on this planet that you can learn from. And it leads me to another idea, is model an expert. There's so many experts that have done what you want to do, have made millions of dollars. All you have to do is model what those folks are doing. And so input, and that's one of the areas I think about, I worry about with our youth today. So many of our youth are idolizing these musicians that aren't really putting out good content, to say the least. So the input is number one. Number two is associations. Who is associating you? Who's influencing you? And you look at that, and Dr. McKellen from Harvard did a group. He said you prefer your reference group determines as much as 95% of your success in life, is a Harvard study. And Jim Rohn said, of course, you become the combined average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. We've all heard that one before. And then number 3 is your environment. What you're surrounding yourself at home, your environment, your work environment, people that you're associating with is going to make a major influence in your life. So here's some estimates here, some interesting content. I believe this is from one of Brian Tracy's books. He talks about Americans 12 years or older listen to or watch 1,704 hours per year of TV. And that's an average of 4.7 hours per day. Almost 30% of our waking lives are spent watching TV. Almost one whole day each week, and almost 33 hours per week. So you got to cut some of that stuff out. Look at your influences. What are your inputs, and what are the associations that you're allowing to control your life? So there's your nuggets of advice today from the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace, making you more street smart. Speaking of street smart, I've got some intelligent folks here in studio. William Crowley, the credit magician. What's happening in this world of identity theft and credit?
Well, I like the way you started out with the fake news and picking a fight with the mainstream media, because that's exactly what we're about. And taking on a personal level, we want the consumer to embrace these strategies and ideals as well, because there's so much going on in finance that it changes from day to day.
Yeah.
But people don't stay abreast of that. We as consumers, I hate to use that word consumers, but I guess that's for lack of a better phrase. We as consumers need to become more aware of what's going on in the commerce, because we're participating on a day-to-day basis, and it's changing on a day-to-day basis. But there are laws that have been put in place since 1970. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is one primary one that comes to mind. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, a lot of people use the acronym. These are laws where we're talking about self-defense and things like that on the show today. So I want to talk about financial self-defense as well.
Yeah.
Because the point is that we have to defend ourselves against these abuses. Now, I'm not saying that the corporations are just picking on us. We're doing our share as well by defaulting on debts and creating, I guess you would say, havoc in the commerce as well by not paying our bills on time. But things happen. Okay, we lose our jobs, major medical bills, a loved one dies, a breadwinner, or whatever. So whatever the case, we have to be proactive, ahead of the game. But if we're going to take a defensive measure, then we need to study these laws and know what's at hand to be able to protect ourselves from the so-called corporate abuses or our own self-abuses.
Yeah.
The Fair Credit Reporting Act has been there since 1970, and these laws are there to tell you as a consumer, listen, here's your rights, okay, in commerce. You can, if you have committed certain acts that have damaged your credit, then there's legal ways to circumvent that. Legal ways to circumvent it. We just don't tell people just forget about it, sweep it under the rug. We want you to pay attention to it, okay, and use these laws to defend yourself against a lot of the things that you've committed yourself, okay?
Proactive.
Being proactive.
Yeah.
So don't go in front of the lenders out there and transform them into credit repair specialists or credit restoration specialists. Their job is to sell you the properties and do what they have to do or get you the loan. So that's what we want to tell you, either do it yourself or come to us for help. And doing that, you're studying the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Uniform Commercial Code, even aspects of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Yeah.
So, hey, how much time do I got, baby?
Let's talk about also the identity theft. I mean, we see it so rampant. You got so rampant out there. J.P. Morgan, Target, the federal government, on and on. The popular restaurant that TC Choi's or whatever it was, something like that. Identity theft is something that you're seeing out there on a regular basis, isn't it?
On a regular minute by minute basis. And once again, being proactive, you're going to protect yourself ahead of the game. First thing you want to do is put a promotional block on your credit report. Let me say this right now. The biggest perpetrator of identity theft is the credit reporting agencies themselves. Okay, they're the biggest perpetrator of identity theft. Most people
You can't
look
handle
at them.
the truth.
I like that. I like that. But that's true. And let's give them the truth, okay? The bottom line is that the credit reporting agencies are perpetrating the biggest fraud ever because they're not following the Fair Credit Reporting Act at all. They're violating almost every law of the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
Right.
And to protect your identity, you need to be well aware of the laws in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Did you know that the credit reporting agencies have to contact you prior to putting anything on your credit report? They have never called anybody out there. Let me see a show of hands, if I can.
Right.
Let me see a show of hands. Who's been contacted by the credit reporting agency?
Right.
Nobody has. So, got 30 seconds. Okay.
There you
so
go.
listen, nobody's been contacted by the credit reporting agencies, but at the same time, if we don't do anything about it, we're letting the credit reporting agencies get away with murder, and identity theft is the biggest one.
Yeah, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about this free credit package that you offer, William, and ways that people can engage. Never leave the side of setting a goal without taking an action item towards that goal, and that's one of our mantras around here with the Quarterback Show. And more from our expert contributors. We got Joe Harrison, Harrison Martial Arts, Kathy Finnegan, coach and owner, Accountable Actions, and more from our expert contributors. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and a top listing agent here in Tampa Bay. Also a published author. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. We'd love for you to check it out. And it talks about how you can start your own radio show or even a podcast and become a center of influence by harnessing the power of the media. And Become the MVP of Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves is available on Amazon. And we're giving a big shout out to Healthy Gourmet. Big shout out to Felicia Lacaille with Healthy Gourmet. She's the founder of Healthy Gourmet, organic veggies and natural proteins delivered fresh 3 times a week. A meal plan starting at only $90 a week. So about $10 a meal. You have optimal fuel, optimal performance. And I love it. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I have my meal delivery and I have great food. It helps me keep my energy up, energy high, and being healthy. So what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? Healthy Gourmet. Over 80 show partners on our website at consumerqb.com. Click on the Expert Contributors tab at consumerqb.com. You can see all of our contact information there, as well as our hotline. You can call or text our hotline, 813-670-7372.
Welcome to my house.
813-670-7372.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
And we're going to help you win no matter what you're facing. Currently talking with William Crowley, the credit magician. He's a credit repair specialist here. Anyone looking to improve their credit. We're also going to talk with Joe Harrison, tactical combative instructor with Harrison Martial Arts, and also Kathy Finnegan as well, Accountable Action. She's a coach and owner of Accountable Action. So, William, let's talk about this credit package, man. The credit is something that we're not taught in school. Identity theft is so rampant now. What are you seeing out there?
Well, that package is going to consist of a lot of material, probably more than what you'll expect. But I've encouraged people, read the material and take the necessary action. We're going to show you how to put a promotional block on your credit report. We're going to show you the real viable sites to get your free credit report, even though the scores may still teeter a little bit, but the actual information is what's most important. We'll show you the websites that we select for you to get that information. And then with the brochures, we're going to show you free credit reports. Well, I did say free credit reports earlier, but we're going to show you the disputes of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We're going to show you the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. We're going to show you how to do validation of debts. We're going to show you how to do a cease and desist letter. I mean, it's going to be probably too much information.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good to have it because some of
information.
it may apply, some of it may not. And here's the other thing. We all have a loved one we know that could use this package. So why don't we do this? For the first 5 listeners, we're going to give this away for free. It's a free credit package. It's going to teach you how to opt out of pre-screening, cut off all that junk mail coming to your mailbox, opening you up to identity theft and prevention there. And you also look at an opportunity to get an actual free credit report. And here's a hint. It's not those guys jumping around the TV commercials, strumming guitars. They're going to back in solicit you for your credit card information, and you're going to get a charge on your credit. And then there's also an opportunity to sit down with William Crowley, the credit magician. He'll sit down with you, go over at your home or office, and go over your credit issues, what you might want to do to improve. And if you're looking to make moves in real estate, you want to do it now before it gets time to, you're under the gun, you're in underwriting, you're dealing with these issues. It adds so much extra stress to the transaction.
That's right. Financial self-defense, baby.
Yeah, so what we do, let's do the 5 for the first 5 listeners. Go ahead and text the word credit to our hotline, 813-670-7372. Text credit to our hotline, 670-7372. That's an 813 area code, 670-REQB as well as the acronym for that. So, William, I love that credit package. You can help people in that space, and it's something that a lot of times we're seeing it on the mortgage side. We got 2 great mortgage lenders with this show, Kurt Lorden, branch manager, Interlink Mortgage, as well as Mario Larrea with Home First Lending. And a lot of times what we're hearing is that people are waiting to the last minute. They're finally pulling the credit, and then, oh, no, I've got all these issues.
Exactly. And so in that packet, we're going to show you how to be proactive. So you're going to pull your credit reports well in advance and then take the necessary actions you need to correct those negative issues on the credit report so you'll be ready to purchase the property when you go to these mortgage brokers. Okay, so, I mean, it's phenomenal. But what I find is most people, they're reactive as opposed to proactive. Yeah. And we're just waiting to let other people tell us, take the action that you need. Everybody knows if they have negative marks on their credit, okay? I always like to be blunt and say everybody knows if you got bad credit or not. Yep. But the point is, if you know you do or you have any suspicions, then take advantage of the free credit reports, the package, and the free credit report access is right there. I mean, we've got numerous sites to go to. So go to it and then take the necessary action. Protect yourself. Be ready to buy the property, and don't let credit be a hindrance to you.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com. Just submit the contact form. We'll get you in touch with William Crowley, the best in the business, the credit magician, baby, right here in Tampa Bay. Yeah. So, all right, let's go ahead. We're gonna shift gears now. We're gonna talk with Joe Harrison. Harrison Martial Arts. He's a tactical combative instructor. What is a tactical combative instructor?
You know what? There's so many different branches of martial arts out there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I've said this before on the show. There are so many different branches of self-defense, martial arts, and all that. Tactical combatives is really just the streamlined version of so many different systems of martial arts that are taught mainly to military, law enforcement, executive security, things like that. So a lot of the mumbo jumbo is left out. A lot of the history and the tradition and all the formalities, you strip all that away and you say, let's get to the point. And because they don't have time for that.
Yeah.
They don't have, most of these professionals that are in these professions don't have time in their lives or finances to really learn all that. So they want tactical combatives, which is the direct application of the martial art itself. It is not.
I saw Kevin doing some of that, I think, on your Instagram.
Yes, right.
Had the elbows, the
because
blocks.
tactical is the application of a strategy. Strategy is the plan. The tactics is the application of the strategy.
Right.
Okay, so that's the biggest understanding I can kind of give to you on that. But one thing I want to back up and say is that 90+% of what William was saying in my head wasn't even about credit. It was about personal self-defense. And when I say personal self-defense, I mean defending yourself against yourself.
Yeah.
Because we have such a horrible habit of hurting ourselves.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about self-defense from other people.
Yep.
But we don't really talk about it in terms of defending ourselves from ourselves. From our stupidity, from our ignorance, our arrogance, our laziness, our poor health. I mean, we need more self-defense against ourselves
Limiting
than
beliefs.
from other people.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I mean, so that the whole thing that he was talking about earlier was completely just lighting up for me because it has self-defense and martial arts and tactics and all that it's so mental.
Yeah.
It's 90% plus mental. When people say, oh, you're a martial arts instructor or tactical combatives, and they have no idea how much of it is mental.
The mental, and one of the first things is breathing right.
So
many
breathing
people
right.
lock
You have
up.
to know how to breathe. You have to know how to carry yourself. You have to know how to talk.
Yeah.
You got to know how to verbalize. You got to be educated. You have to know how to articulate.
Yep.
There's so much that goes into self-defense that has nothing to do with the physical application of it.
That's right.
It's the mental application of it. And I'll say the next thing I'll say is who are you surrounding yourself with?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would like to spend most of my days around people like William, mainly because of the way that he talks, the way that he's articulating himself, the way he's explaining it. That tells me he's educated, he's informed, he's proactive. All these words that he's saying, it's just that's self-defense.
That's right.
That is the peak of how you should be carrying the reason why it's a good idea to be like that, as far as what William is talking about, is because he doesn't carry himself like a victim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you carry yourself like a victim, no matter what you think you know, you're a target. Predators don't seek out other predators.
Yeah.
Right.
The bully.
And this goes back to what he's talking about with credit.
Yeah.
There's so much out there in the world, information-wise, finance, you name it. The predators will always seek prey.
Yeah.
And the prey are the least intelligent of us.
Yep.
They are the least trained, they are the least informed, and they are easy to influence and manipulate and control. They are prey.
And
so it has nothing to do
it's a slippery slope,
It
too,
is.
because they keep telling themselves that same story over and over. Oh, can you believe what he did to me? Can you believe what she did to me?
Right. Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, man, that's 15, 20 years ago. You got to let it go. Now, where are you at? Now,
Exactly.
Now let's regroup. Let's move forward with confidence.
Yeah, exactly. And every passing moment is another opportunity to turn it all around.
Right.
Every second that goes by that you're complaining is another second that can go by that you're becoming informed and educated.
Wasted. You just wasted the present moment.
And it's very hard to stay on that stream, because that means you have to start cutting things out in your life that are taking your time and your money and your effort, and a lot of that is people.
Yeah.
You want to know what the hardest thing to do in life is? It's not pay your bills and be responsible. It's cutting people out that are taking all that from you.
Yeah, you got haters and you got naysayers. So the haters are just blatantly hating.
Oh yeah,
because they're jealous, and then
exactly.
you got the naysayers that some of them might be protecting you. It might be a family member saying, "Oh, you sure you want to take that risk? Are you sure you want to invest in that company?
Yeah,
are you sure?"
And and the other thing I'm going to say is a lot of people think that a lot of the stuff that I do is just based on karate and taekwondo and whatever.
Yeah.
They have no idea the medical applications behind what I'm doing.
Right.
I actually have to know a lot about the human body, the physiology, the biology. I have to know a lot of different things. Why? Because some of the things I do and teach can instantly kill someone. Not because it's like my hands are lethal weapons or anything like that, but because I have to know certain parts of the throat. I have to know, parts of the body and the joints and all. I mean,
the manipulation of the joints.
You basically become, no less than the equivalent of a master's degree in physiology, because you can't be messing around with if you're going to have people coming in your door and learning martial arts, you have to know your stuff on a medical standpoint. So it's very mental. Absolutely.
Yeah. Joe Harrison, the best in the business right here in Clearwater, and Harrison Martial Arts, teaching me some of these tactical, combative. I love it. Exactly. A lot of fun. And more from our expert contributors. Also giving a big shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP Realty is our premier sponsor. Top listing firm here in Tampa Bay. Top listing agents and also buyer agents helping you invest in real estate, buy, sell, invest. Platinum MVP Realty. And giving a big shout out to our official restaurant partner. Hula Bay is our restaurant partner. Beautiful restaurant, waterfront ambiance right here in South Tampa, right off of Tyson Avenue in South Tampa. 5210 Tyson Avenue is Hula Bay. Also on the weekends, you have Duke's Retired Surfer Bar, great live music. You got the Freedom Boat Club down there, the marina, a great place to go and enjoy the beautiful outside. Hula Bay is our official restaurant partner. Wide variety on the menu, fresh tuna shipped in every 2 days from Hawaii, and the best sushi in all of Tampa Bay. The Hula Bay is our official restaurant partner. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you for a free water with lemon. You knew it was coming, didn't you? I knew it was coming.
I love it. I love it.
All right. We're back here in studio. William Crowley, the credit magician in the house. Joe Harrison, Harrison Martial Arts. And Kathy Finnegan, she's coach and owner of Accountable Actions. So let's go back to Joe. We kind of left off there. And, the martial arts, it's such an important area for people to consider.
Oh, it's a huge thing. Let me just, the first thing I'm going to say is we all went to school. It was about a 12-year run, right?
Yep.
First grade, 12th grade, not including, prior to that. We had to learn math, science, reading, writing. I mean, all that. It was like,
Yep.
5-6 subjects that we had to take?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And that was just to make us generally educated.
Right.
To be able to walk around in society on a normal level.
Yeah.
And that's hoping that we were even educated properly at that level, right?
Right.
So here's my question. If we had to go to school for that long and learn all these subjects and just the basics, then why aren't we learning other, but it's kind of hard to explain this, but
Yeah.
martial arts to me is the same as when we went to school. Okay. If we go to, do you guys have kids? Kathy?
Yes.
You have kids?
Yes.
Would you tell your children or child or whatever that, well, we think you're only good at math, so just go do math for 12 years?
Right. No, I wouldn't.
How well do you think they're going to operate in society if they just know
Horribly.
math? They can't
Yeah.
read, they can't write, they can't speak. So martial arts is the same thing. You don't just go and learn one system or two systems or three. You have to know every system, not every system, but the ones that have to do with those body parts.
Right.
You have to learn the system of striking, punching, kicking, elbows, grappling, trapping, takedowns, manipulations. There's a whole plethora of things that you should be learning. It's not one or two systems. They don't cover it all.
Yep.
And that's why when we went to school, we had to cover it all. We had to. These were the basics that we had to cover. So, here's my question to these two is.
Yeah.
My question is: do either of you know, or have you ever known any type of martial arts?
I took very little. My children took it all the way through purple belt.
Okay, and what were they taking?
Just karate.
Okay, and then
Wrestling.
high school,
High school
Yep.
and some college. Yes.
some college. Okay, did you? So you competed collegiately?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I got to get my butt kicked.
All right. So here's my question: is do you two continue to do those things?
I continue to work out. I am not doing martial arts
Okay.
anymore, but I have done it a little
Now,
bit
both
in
of
the
you are
past.
well aware of how things are out there right now, right?
Yeah.
Now, you
Oh,
both
yeah.
have children, and you guys would do anything to protect them, correct?
Exactly.
So here's my question: why aren't you training?
Right.
Why aren't you training to protect them? Now, training not only up here, but also emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and things like that. But if you are truly, truly interested in deeply protecting your child, it can't just be here and here. It has to also be out here.
Mm-hmm.
And because you don't know what's going to happen. I had a
Right.
friend of mine say, well, all I would do is just cover up my kids in a situation. Well,
I know Hapkido. I can kill.
exactly, right?
Kidding.
So, and the other thing I'm going to talk about is this is the more mental side of something that I teach called a personal protection paradigm. I don't know. Can you see this in the?
Yeah, if you hold it up to the camera. Yeah.
Right there, I can see the. So you're going to see here. This says asset, liability, friend, and enemy.
Talking to the mic.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we
So
can.
asset, liability, friend, and enemy. Now this is the circle of influence that I learned from Stephen R. Covey in the 7 Habits of Successful People.
Yep.
So here's my question: which one out of these 4 would you guys all say is the most dangerous out of these 4? The asset, the liability, the friend, or the enemy? Which one's the most dangerous one?
The friend.
Yeah, he said that real quick. The friend.
I think I've heard a little bit similar to this.
Okay.
I was going to say the friend.
The friend.
Yeah, I
and
have to
William.
stick with the friend as well. Yeah.
Okay, now each of you explain to me why you feel that way, because everybody answered pretty quickly. So I'll
I
have
think
you go
because
first.
they feel safe to be any way they want to be. I mean,
Okay. All right.
And a
Yeah.
lot of times they're pretenders. They're not real friends. They're pretender friends that are going to turn on you.
Right.
Okay. Which leads to what? Which
Leads to a lot
friend
of fun
turning into
stuff,
what?
man.
A
Lot of-
liability
Enemy.
and enemy.
Leads to
Okay.
fights, lawsuits, all kinds of
Oh,
fun stuff.
Exactly. All kinds of fun. William?
And y'all just keep your guards down around your friends. You just, don't
Right.
expect
Comfortable.
them to do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you be surprised to know that every time I've held this up, that everybody usually ends up going to the enemy or the liability?
Right.
Really?
And they don't understand what you guys understand right here as far as the friend goes.
Right.
Is those are the ones that can hurt us the most. Because they're the ones that are in a position to turn to one of the other three the quickest.
Yep.
You know? So that's part of.
I was going to interject something. Sometimes people, busy in life, you got work, you got all these things. We're the busiest pace we've ever been, I think, as a human.
And I think that's a huge self-defense problem, by the way.
That is. And that's my point is that, and then other people will say, okay, well, I've got the concealed permit, I've got pepper spray.
Oh, yeah.
I've got other things. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Weapon,
Yeah. Okay. So what would you like to, it was really your question. So go ahead.
Well, when Brandon had mentioned it earlier, you said, well, I want to expound on that. I want to say more on that concealed weapon. So I want to hear what you were saying, because I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's what I'll say about the concealed weapons thing. This is, once again, this is my personal also and my professional viewpoint or perception on the concealed weapons thing. Don't hide your physical inadequacy to protect yourself behind a firearm or concealed weapons permit, because there's plenty of places that you can't even take that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, there's more places that you can't have it in than you can.
That makes sense.
So here I am. I want to feel safe, because the illusion of safety wins over the reality of safety. Just as long as we have the illusion of safety. A car alarm, it's not going to stop anybody. You know, that's the illusion of safety. A locked door, it's the illusion of safety that sells more than the actual ideal of safety or the reality of safety. So to expand on what William was talking about is, if you're interested in getting a concealed weapons permit, that's great, but that's only a fraction of a percentage of what you should be doing to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's a good
point. If
point.
you lose that firearm, if it doesn't fire properly, if it gets jammed, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to be going over a workshop soon, and we're going to be covering something called the Tuller Rule, or the 21-foot rule. It was a common. It's a law enforcement rule that a guy named I can't remember the guy's name, something Tuller. Anyway. He devised this thing called the 21-foot rule, that if somebody can close a distance in less than 3 seconds and 21 feet before you even draw the firearm, the average person in less than 3 seconds can cover 21 feet and get to you before you even draw. Now this is assuming that you are wearing your firearm in a place that you can even get to it.
Yeah.
Or that you're wearing it at all. So you have your concealed weapons permit, but then you're not going to carry. So now what? Or when you're carrying, you can't get to it in time. Or if you get to it in time, you can't shoot it correctly.
Yep.
You know, so the concealed weapons permit thing to me it can be a very misleading and misinformed thing, because I feel like the education behind it is not where it should be, in my opinion. I feel like it's a good idea to have people, to have the concealed weapons permit, but there's a whole lot more behind that you need to know. You need to know how to defend yourself physically.
Let's touch on that in the lightning round as well. Let's go ahead and bring Kathy Finnegan into the conversation as coach and owner of Accountable Actions. And so what are you seeing out there, Kathy?
Well, I want to encourage people to live their best life now and to get out and take action and make some changes. It takes changing. It takes being consistent, disciplined. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. These are the tips I'd like to go over with you. 7 tips on how to live a positive lifestyle. And the first one is the mindset, which we talked about today a little bit, the mental toughness, which breaks down to, that's our attitude.
Right.
And our attitude will make us or break us in anything we do.
That's right.
So we have to give ourselves positive affirmations instantly. When we have a negative self-talk, or if somebody's performing a negative action toward us, or we don't like a situation, we have to see the good in it. We have to remove ourselves from the situation, but we have to tell ourselves something positive. If I tell myself I can't lose weight, this will never work for me, it will not work for you. So what we say to ourselves, our thoughts are our reality. So we have to have a positive mindset. And by doing that, we'll in turn start having positive actions, and it all starts to work. And the next thing is the routine, is having a routine. We have to have a consistent routine every day.
That's right.
We're a lot more productive when we are consistent in our routine. We get more done. It gives us a lot more time to spend with our family or do what we want to do. We know what we're doing in the day, so we can check off our list, and then we're creating a very positive habit. And once we do that, everything else, it's just we sleep better even, because we're not anxious or nervous. We've gotten our stuff done for the day.
That's right.
So routine's important.
Yep.
And then there's sleep, exercise, nutrition, spirituality, emotional well-being are the last one. So sleep is huge. You have to, I suggest going to sleep and waking up at the same time every day and getting in a good habit of sleeping, it's good for your heart, it's good for your circulation, and you're more productive.
Let's talk about that a little bit more in depth on the next segment, because there's studies that show the traditional of the Arnold Schwarzenegger weight. We'll jump into that when we come back. But I want to talk about sleep patterns because that's interesting. I like that. And more from Kathy Finnegan, owner and coach of Accountable Actions. More from our expert contributors as well in the lightning round. William Crowley, the credit magician. Joe Harrison Martial Arts, and our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and a top listing agent in Tampa Bay. Featured in Florida Realtor Magazine, Top Agent Magazine, the Business Journal, the Tribune. Recognized for innovation with marketing, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. Inviting you to a free digital marketing and business growth seminar on Thursday, May 25th. Save the date, Thursday, May 25th. 3 to 5:30 p.m. at the beautiful Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach, 3701 Gulf Boulevard. And you're going to learn more to earn more. You're going to be able to beat your competition online, making sure your websites are mobile. We're going to help you with that. We also have Patrick Leask, an action coach, who's going to help you as well with organization, the business. We're going to talk about persuasion and influence. And it's Thursday, May 25th. Save the date, May 25th, 3 to 5:30 at the Hotel Zamora. Now at 5:30, we're taking it to the rooftop. We're going to have a great happy hour up there, some drinks and awesome food on the rooftop of the Hotel Zamora with excellent views of the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. A couple of hot listings I want to let you know about. 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. This is a great buying opportunity. Corner lot, vacant land, 0.82 acres MOL with 200 feet of frontage within the city of Largo. Great opportunity to build, develop commercial opportunity at 1401 Seminole Boulevard, as well as 11515 East Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Seffner. This is another vacant land, parcel of land. Actually, there's a couple of older buildings on it, structures that most likely would be torn down. $199,000. Great opportunity here in the Mango area. 11515 East Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Approximately a third of an acre MOL, and a great opportunity for you to purchase here in beautiful Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so we're back here in studio, iHeartRadio, beautiful South Tampa, Florida here. And currently we're talking with Kathy Finnegan. She's a coach and owner of Accountable Actions. We're talking about the 7 tips of living a positive life. So we were talking about sleep patterns. So,
Right.
so you were saying it's important to have that pattern.
Yes, it's huge. It's everything. I mean, we should go to bed at the same time at night, wake up at the same time, get in that same routine. It allows us to perform better. We can focus. We can function. We're not as irritable. You know, in every situation, we handle it better when we sleep. So
I'm so horrible at going to bed on time.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm the worst. That's the one thing I don't think if you paid me, I would do it right.
Well, I know I'm consistent though. I go at 3 in the morning and I get up at 7.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not enough sleep. That is
You
not
said be
enough sleep.
consistent. How many hours should we get?
8.
Oh, okay.
Really? That's
Yeah.
true?
You really
That's
should.
what I was going to talk about, but because you hear guys like Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. He's awesome. I like he's a motivational guy. He talks about how he gets up at 3 or 4 in the morning and he'd sleep when he's dead and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear Arnold Schwarzenegger. His famous quote was, there's 24 hours a day. You sleep 6, you work the other 18. And so recent studies have come out though, because how many hours do we need? Right, that was the question.
Right.
And there was a study from Florida State University, and it talked about that, especially if you're a high performer. I like to think of myself as a super achiever, a high performer. I'm working hard. I'm working on building and growing. And the sleep pattern that he talked about was at least getting 8 to 10 hours. So sometimes even more. And your body will tell you that, especially if you sometimes you don't feel like getting up in the morning. And so there's a fine line there. If you tell certain people that, they say, "Oh, I'll sleep until 9 o'clock," and especially younger. I think the older you get to, you kind of need less sleep. Maybe it's kind of the pattern I've seen throughout my life, and I see it with my parents. But yeah, so sleep is important. Let's see what's next on the list. Exercise.
And when we exercise, we sleep better. So they all go hand in hand. Exercise is medicine. I don't want to take any pills to feel emotionally stable. I want to go exercise. It works just like medicine. It's the best medicine out there. It makes us stronger. It makes us more secure, more confident. We perform better. We feel better. We look better. So I can go on and on.
Endorphins. Yeah, it releases the endorphins, the happy cells that jump around in our body.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And, anybody can, just do 30 minutes a day to start up. Start off with a walk or a run. You don't have to get out there and be a superstar overnight. In time, you'll grow and get stronger as you go. But start today. Do something for yourself, for your body, to exercise. It's everything to again, they all go hand in hand to living a positive life. It certainly brings positivity to you.
Yeah, small incremental moves, as you were saying, is if you can only walk 15 minutes a day, walk the 15 minutes. Then next maybe go to 20, maybe ramp it up week after week. But those small incremental movements compounded over time. A quote by Peter Drucker, who's an advisor to Jack Welch at GE. He talks about how people overestimate what they can do in a year. Back to the goal setting and what we try to do, but they underestimate what they can do in 5 years.
Absolutely,
that's something that's it's part of our human mind, our human element that happens. So, all right. So number 6 here is nutrition.
Nutrition. I am a big believer in 6 meals a day because it trains your body again. You're not going to be as hungry because you're eating throughout the day every 2.5 hours.
So 6 meals, complete big meals,
small meals.
No, they're small portions, small meals, and also I highly suggest protein and carb in each meal. Healthy carbs, oranges, apples, not the French fries, potatoes, and chips, the white breads. But the healthy carbs and proteins that's giving you your all the ingredients of all the food groups, a lot of water, any amount of greens you want to eat. But you're forming a positive habit. Your body's going to adjust to that habit, and you're going to metabolize more if you eat 6 small meals a day.
Yep.
And you're not going to be as hungry. So that's important. The next one is spirituality. This is my favorite one. I use this in everything I do. It's my source of power. For me, I grew up with God as in a religion, but religion and spirituality are 2 different things. And I don't know which one works for people, but have one of them in play, because we have to have a power greater than ourselves to perform in anything we do. I have my morning must, which is my daily devotional readings. And, they start me off getting aligned with God, where I remind myself I'm not God, and I'm allowed to, I'm going to go out into the world and deal with people and all kinds of situations, and I need to be spiritually fit. Just like I want to be physically fit, mentally fit, I need to be spiritually fit to handle life. So this is huge, and I turn to this for anything I go through. Spirituality is really important. And if you do these 6 tips, then your emotional well-being will be secure and confident and stable. Your mental health is stable. So like I said, they all go hand in hand.
Yeah, good stuff there. And you can add in there the meditation into some of those routines. There's different things. We had the Pranic Healing Team, Tampa, here in studio this week as well. And, a lot of great things to help you win in any marketplace. Consumer Quarterback Show. We're jumping into our lightning round. All right. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid. William Crowley, you're up first.
All right. It's not what you do, it's what they do. I'm joking. It's what you do. It's not what they do. Be proactive. Make sure of that. And quit blaming everybody else. Blame yourself.
That's right.
I like that a lot.
Joe Harrison.
That right there is a great statement. I mean, first of all, just being in the same room with these 2 people is a big deal for me, because everything that she's talking about is everything that I talk about.
Yep.
And his attitude and approach and the way he's carrying himself is exactly what I talk about in the studio too.
Yep.
And it's all about being around those types of people that take you from that 3rd bottom tier up to that 1st top tier.
That's right.
And the way that you do that is following advice from Kathy, following advice from William and myself.
Yep.
If you keep doing that and you follow those people who are succeeding, and you take those blueprints that they give you a lot of times for
The
free.
only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Yeah, and right for free, right? Just listen to what she's saying, listen to what he's saying, and that's how you start climbing those tiers and becoming more successful, and you are less of a victim.
Yeah,
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all that. Less of a victim, which means what? You're going to be the one that people are trying to come after.
Yeah.
Positively. They want to be like you. And yes, you're going to end up getting enemies because of that.
Yep.
Which is funny, because this diagram that I teach, what she just got done talking about, I have on the top here, I've got the, let me see if I can see this, the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual. She's talking about spirituality, and the spirituality that I talk about in the studio is fighting spirit.
Yep.
Fighting spirit. So that's my biggest tip, because we're talking about lightning round and tips, right?
Yep.
So my biggest tip is just keep listening to the show, get involved with higher educated people, and follow their footprints.
Love it. Kathy, parting words of advice, nuggets of advice.
What I would say is to get a vision of the person that you want to be.
Yep.
And
I like
picture
that.
yourself being happy to the parent you want to be, the friend you want to be, how you want to look, how you want to feel, and then go after it by taking action and following steps.
That's right. Yeah, and write it down. The more you write it down, and you're going to compound it. There's something magical that happens when you take it out of your mind and you put it onto paper. You write it down. You look at it multiple times throughout the day. Carry a notepad with you or an index card that has your top 3 or 4 or 5 goals on it, and it's going to help you remind yourself of where you're headed. And another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors. I want to thank our listeners and our viewers on WeBeam TV as well. ConsumerQB.com is our website. Submit the form. We would love to hear from you, your comments, any ways that you want to engage any of our listeners or expert contributors today. And our hotline, 670-7372, 670-REQB. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as maybe packing up leftover food that you may have, groceries, carrying it with you to and from your commute to work, and handing it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Go out there and volunteer your time, maybe donate money if you can, and be a force for good. Do something nice for someone else today. And remember to tune into the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
Don't forget, Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Visit realestateradiotampa.com or text the word VALUE to their consumer advocacy hotline at 813-917-1894. Call Brandon today, 813-917-1894.
And now I know for sure I just added 2 more guys to my wolf pack.